Not really. We've been tempted a lot of times to go spray fungicides, pesticides, but we're trying to avoid that. If it comes in a box or bag, we don't want to do it if we can help it. But there's times where we have, like, grasshoppers, we have sprayed for it. But the goal is to let the plants repair and do what they do. I'm not saying that we won't ever, but that's the goal.
Our weed management mostly is a silage chopper. In the spring we'll burn this off with glyphosate, but that's pretty much our management strategy.
Cutting for forage or grazing, it's usually how we manage it.
Well, I don't know about pests because I don't really believe in worrying about pests. We've had grasshoppers in the past. They seem to affect our old crops that are older stands. Anything that was vibrant and new, they didn't seem to affect that much. So, and I don't really believe in spraying them because there's a reason for everything, and we just choose to take what we get, and we're happy with that. So it's kind of the way we're doing it.
Just the burn off in the spring. That's all we did.
We are soil testing, and we're doing some before and after tests to see just what we're gaining and if we are gaining. And I know that some of my land that we bale grazed and fed on for a long time went from a couple of percent of organic matter to like 9%. So, we're aware of that now, and so we're watching those kind of things.
Yes, we do. We soil test every spring. We've taken part in Kara's benchmarking program, and we've done the first, and we're waiting on doing the second round of that. But yeah, we definitely soil test everything every spring to see kind of where we're at as a baseline to get started.
Yes, through the association here, they've been monitoring one field here, and like I said earlier, one field when we first started was pretty horrible, and then it's gotten better every year after.
The only soil testing we've done is through the PCBFA. We did the soil benchmark testing that they did. We did 3 different areas on our farm last summer, and won't see any results from that, or I should say the follow-up is going to be next year, I believe. And so whether there's improvements or whatever, I guess we'll see that then.
We do on and off. Regretfully, we haven't been taking them the last couple of years, but when you visually assess things, sometimes you can get a pretty good feel of it's working or it's not. And I must say, I mean, we're very happy with the results. The tonnage is there on the forages, and we have beef, so we feed all of this stuff. So that's where we'll do a rotation, probably 2 years cover crops or cocktails, and then into a cash crop, and then right back to cocktails. So you prime the soil, build it up, suck it out with your cash crop, and go and do it again.
We've used inoculant, but I haven't used on any of my cocktail mixes. I haven't used any nitrogen or any fertilizer or any fungicides or anything at this point.
On this crop here has none. We did a burn off with a 1/3 liter of glyphosate in the spring, and that's all this has had.
It had 25 pounds of 4600 is all it got. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. This year it worked. Last year there was a barley crop on here that had a lot of nitrogen pushing it, and I think we have some residual for that. Across the road, it got the same treatment, and it didn't have any nitrogen the year before, and it's showing it right now.
I've basically been try to farm without chemical additives as much as I can, chemical inputs. I've used virtually no added fertilizers for quite a number of years. I've used some herbicides a bit to control weeds, but fertility, I've just through crop rotations and that kind of thing tried to do that without the added chemical fertilizers.
No, we're zero fertilizer for 5 years. The only thing we have been doing is weed control, trying. That's always a challenge, but other than just possible pre-burn on, in the spring, it's just put your mix together and put it in the ground. And we don't even treat our seed.
This was seeded on the 28th of May. Last year we seeded on the 17th of May, and it's I think it's wide open. I don't think it matters. You could seed it any time.
Shortly after the May long weekend. It's kind of as soon as the soil's warm enough and we can get in the field. We like to be able to silage in that middle to end of August so that we can get some regrowth for possibly grazing or starting another crop.
We usually like to get it in the end of May, first part of June, but this year we got some seeded in the end of June, so it's just the way the year was this year, but most likely I'd like to have it in before the end of May.
This year it varied anywhere from about the last week in May when we could get on the fields, and some of it we couldn't get on till the end of June, so that was kind of the range there. I did do a fall mix, hairy vetch and fall rye last fall I seeded, and that turned out probably the best of anything that I've had so far as a grazing. We grazed it in the spring and we're going across it the second time right now. We just started onto it again.
May is what we shoot for, yeah. We'll end a lot of times the 10th of June, up to the 20th of June, and still get a pretty good result. But we try and be out there in May if we can, for sure.